Hi, this is Rob and welcome back to the blog. This segment is on the topic of when you're considering hiring an agent for the listing, for the sale of your house, is how much due diligence is too much due diligence. And most importantly, it's with regards to interviewing agents for the job and how many to interview and who to interview. The reason I'm doing this segment is I literally just got off the phone with a client of mine that just hired us, the Radcliffe group and me, for the job of representing them with the sale of their house. And I knew that they were meeting with a number of agents, and I think it was like 4 or 5 different agents, which, by the way, that's a lot. I mean, in my opinion, and I think in most people's opinion, or in my experience, sometimes a home seller will meet with 1 to no more than 3. So anyhow, with that said, she informed me that she notified all of them that they've made the decision to hire us, which obviously we're very excited. Here's the part that's not the first time I heard this. She said to me, Rob, I'm shocked, I'm stunned, it's so uncomfortable. This one agent, she didn't tell me the name, not that I needed to know, wrote me this scathing email back. She was like, it was so uncomfortable. I never even want to see this person again. I mean, I would never hire that person. And I didn't dive in deep into the topic with her, but I said, yeah, that sometimes happens. It's kind of disappointing to see any time that there's a lack of business maturity in any industry. So with that said, I've witnessed this tons and tons of times. And here's the bummer is that agent is kind of like that spoiled apple who potentially is going to try to spoil other apples around her. I use the metaphor or the example, which is kind of a silly one, but there's some similarities. It's like back in high school and a boy asks a girl to the prom and the girl says yes and then later says to the boy, oh, you know what, nah, I'm going to go with someone else. Obviously that boy's not a big fan of that girl, and most likely if any friends of his says, hey, what do you think of Jane? He's probably not going to rave about her. So not that that's an exact similarity to real estate brokerage and what agents will talk about a house, but I've actually seen kind of something like that. And I've later picked up of why that agent was speaking negatively either in the coffee room or in an office meeting or just I heard him talk negatively about the house, is finding out that that agent was actually up for the listing and just didn't get it. So do your due diligence, of course, but don't meet with agents just to meet with them. And I've heard that from sellers, clients that I knew were hiring me. And they said, Rob, I've got to meet with this friend of mine. I'm not going to hire him. I know I'm not going to hire him, but I told them I was going to meet with them. And that's a delicate moment for me because while I don't want my client to think of, A, I'm trying to persuade them not to meet with anyone else as far as lack of confidence that they're going to hire me anyways, I want to say, do you really need to? And the reason is that, yeah, they might be thinking that they're doing that agent a favor to meet with them, but actually they're doing the opposite. They're taking that agent's time, they're getting that agent's hopes up that they're going to get the job to later be turned down for it, puts a bad taste in their mouth later. And we want all of the agents, we want everyone out there to be an advocate, to be our ally, to be excited for your home to sell, not like just disappointed, oh, I thought I was going to get that listing, I didn't get it, and they don't want to see the sale. In fact, on one last example, there was a buyer interested in a listing of mine, and the agent was like, I couldn't understand, and she's a reputable agent, I didn't understand why was she being so difficult during these negotiations. She was almost like trying to buy the house for the buyer, but keeping the buyer down in price, and even it just didn't make any sense, and I couldn't figure it out. And I, in conversation with the seller, my client said, I can't figure out this agent. I don't know why. She's like trying to prevent the deal. I mean, this buyer wants to buy your home, and she's like literally deflecting and trying to get the buyer to look at other properties, and I just can't figure it out. And they asked me the agent's name, and I told them, and they went, oh, well, she was one of the agents that we met with. And I'm like, oh. I mean, again, lack of business maturity, but that happens. So this is a tough one. It's actually kind of an awkward, in some ways, segment on my blog. yes, do your investigating, interviewing, but I guess just don't do it too much. Don't interview a bunch of agents, and especially if you, and this would appear to be obviously self-serving, if you meet with me and you're comfortable and you're confident that I can sell your home and there's no doubts about it, then I would say, stop, no more interviewing, don't meet with anyone else. Allow me then to go out there into the brokerage community, promoting your home to all of the agents, knowing that they're all going to be allies for us to sell your home for the highest price possible. Kind of an awkward segment. I hope it was helpful. I'm happy to discuss it with you at any time. And thanks again for considering us with all your real estate needs.